Hello everyone, welcome to another round of the tournament. My name is Game Draco, and today we have Zelascelar versus That's No Good. They decided to start on Bunker Training Course. Okay, boilers are off, sync pause coming in. Far off. Wow. Rising. And we're coming in with a 33 for the last bar. 34, oops, that's no good. Failed to let go of the boost in time and crashed into the wall. So, now, okay, so now we're in the second lap. And last car coming in 33. Okay, so last car, that's so good. New, how to let go of the boost this time. All over the place. Now we are heading over to the on a wall for Zelascelar. $139 with 139 and a 146. Uh-oh. That's a good said no, I can't turn. I wonder what controller you're using. I don't think he said he was using a steering wheel this time. Abyss Band from That's No Good. And Zelascelar's band. Zugga Challenge from Zelascelar. One more left from each. Gauntlet Band from That's No Good. And Bumpy's Breakers from Zelascelar. Ben Band from That's No Good. Peru Coast Band from Zelascelar. One Gaza Speedway. Zelascelar going with Bowls, and That's No Good going with Bullseye. The shortest track in the game. Okay. Zelascelar's off. Whoa, no! That's no good! Crashes! And Zelascelar is on the third lap. 1390. Seconds with a death. And last car with a 43. That's no good, coming in with 50 seconds. There's 2-1. Ben, that middle pillar, oof, that can be really frightening. So, certainly in Zelascelar's books. Sunken City Band from Zelascelar. Spice Mine Run. No forces. Not so sure about patterns without Ben, because on Spice Mine Run, it can get very precarious with Ben on good pace on the final lap, because the dozer can be in a very precarious position. Oh, Zelascelar going with Beto. Very fond of using Beto. And Bullseye on Spice Mine Run is not a good pick. Bullseye is just really slow on the, it can be really slow really difficult to use on this track just because he taps out so early. And you have Mars, Elon Mack, Mahonic, Beto, Bowles, and Ben faster than him on this track. And this is probably the straightest track in the game. There are a lot of straights where you can really abuse the boost. Sometimes really overuse it to the point where it actually compromises your ability to run. Countdown has been given. Zelascelar is starting. Okay, sync bar is coming in. And we're seeing a rip from That's No Good that isn't usually seen that much, and Zelascelar pulling ahead with Beto. Should be using the right track. Man, wonder if that's to avoid underheating. Yeah, I think that was a boost to avoid underheating. You shouldn't usually boost there with a pod like Bowles or Ben. Now we're going into this part full of minecart, dodging it. And oh my god, Zelascelar scaring me. Came a lot of close calls there. 120. Beto. Oh no! Zelascelar, That's No Good, crashes into the wall, ricocheting with Bullseye. Not that hard to do with Bullseye when it's such a fragile pod. 131 for That's No Good. Zelascelar now ahead by the full mine portion. And this looks like it's not gonna be a bad lap with Beto. 118 with Beto. That is really solid for Spice Mine Run with Beto. Wow. And That's No Good crashes in that same section he crashed in on the last lap. Dang, this is a pretty good Beto time. Looking like it's going to be a pretty good Beto time for Spice Mine Run. And That's No Good boosting and taking the middle path, which is not faster. And there he goes, tapping out his heat. Really easy to do with Bullseye. Now into the city section. Dang. This is really fast for Beto. And he's getting 355 with Beto and a...
Hey guys, this is Lightning Pirate editing this match, and apparently Twitch decided to automatically mute part of this stream for copyright reasons. I don't know what could have possibly been copywritten during this portion, but I just wanted to fill in the gap here, and we see That's No Good finishing with a 425, 137. So that race will go to Zelascelar. Fortunately, we were able to capture the bans during this phase. So after that race, That's No Good temporarily banned Ben Quaderneros. Zelascelar temporarily banned Scrapper's Run. And then we see That's No Good taking us to Aquilara's Classic, where the players made a gentleman's agreement to play as Anakin Skywalker. And we see Zelascelar taking off. And That's No Good right behind him. And there's our sync pause, as That's No Good avoids the texture kill spot, goes wide around that ramp, and both That's No Good catching some air there. And now I'll hand it back to Game Draco.
Maze, Not So Good, survived that. Maze, Not So Good, survived that too. Better be tilting here. Maze, they went over the texture kill spot and didn't even tilt. Okay. Uh-oh, crashes in the figure eight's not so good. 101, first lap for Zelascelar. Okay. Going over the jump to avoid the texture kill spot, and Not So Good crashes into the valve gate. Going up on the final figure eight, or on the second figure eight. Not So Good crashing. 1 minute. Okay. And crash, and That's a good crashes in the figure eight again. And a 302 for Zelascelar with Anakin. And 325 or 6, 326 for Not So Good. Hey, Zelascelar, hey, Not So Good.
Oh.
Hello.
Well, I didn't see that gentleman's for the last track coming.
What last track? Oh, that one. Oh, yeah, that one.
Like, where's Classic with Anakin?
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I never. Well, I mean, I haven't played much Anakin at all, so yeah, that came as a shock as well. But I remember you said that you really liked Anakin. That's no good.
No, Anakin. When you first play the game, I guess when I first played the game, it was Anakin was my first choice because it's like, well, he's on the front of the box art. He's the main character in the movie, so surely he's got to be the best in the game. That's just logical,
Nope, not this game.
It is. It is in the Game Boy Color version. Actually, Anakin is the best in the Game Boy Color version. So there's an interesting fact. I'm going to get proven wrong by someone in the stream going, "Oh, actually, no, Anakin's like the worst." But okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I think the way the Game Boy Color version works, the more planets you win on, the more Anakin's pod gets upgraded, which means he gets better throughout the game. Whereas in this game, once you've upgraded Anakin to max, like so many of the pods are way better.
Yeah. And your Beto time for Spice Mining Run, Zelascelar, was nuts.
Was it?
No, seriously. It's
we gotta keep track on the world record on Beto.
Yeah, you pulled a 116 with Beto, and a few players haven't even got that with Ben.
Yeah, because I remember I made a lot of training with the Gale 3 years ago, and I think it was thanks to that. But yeah, Beto is it's my Anakin. I just like Beto because I think the pod is cool.
Beto's a cool pod.
Yeah, but yeah, I really felt I finally found the right settings for Beto. That was a big relief. I felt really comfortable in that race.
I bet.
That's no good. On one guess, what was your pick there?
I think it was Bullseye, because that was my pick on almost all of them apart from the last one.
All right.
It's it's probably not the best, but I think because I haven't capped the frame rate, so I haven't put any time to set that up.
All right. Yeah, I went with Bowls on Gassa. I enjoy Bullseye. I heard someone call him a Formula One kind of pod. And
yeah,
really
he's
enjoy
the. Yeah, Bullseye Navarre is like the F1 car of the game, pretty much.
Yeah, that sort of makes sense. All great, all a lot of fun until you whack into a corner and then it just blows up to pieces.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a glass cannon.
What's the NASCAR pod then? What's the pod that can just whack into everything and then be fine afterwards? See, I think Sebulba wants to be the NASCAR pod. Like, he fires fire out of his engines just to annoy other drivers. So I've got a feeling he wants to be NASCAR.
I bet.
They're making the worst pod in the game, Sebulba.
Yes.
But yeah, I think that I would enjoy Anakin Mirror on not Aqualar's Classic. That to me, that is the most boring track. It's just, especially with a tiny pod.
It's a forgettable track, but then again, there's a lot of tracks in the game, so you got to play the forgettable ones.
I'm gonna be honest and say, Aqualar's Classic is one of the most boring tracks for me because it shares everything with Sunken Cities and Bumpy's Breakers.
But Bumpy was banned.
I know.
Oh, you wanted to go Bumpy?
I'm just making a point. And I think, and I can't remember, which track was you banned before I said it? Was it? Oh yeah, it was Scrappers you banned beforehand. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just went completely random on the bands.
I think my bans are normally, if it's perma bans, it's always something like I can't play on. Although I don't know why I banned Abyss. I don't normally ban Abyss, but I was like, I'll just ban Abyss because the only one's got my memory that I can just easily ban that one.
I really don't keep track of people's favorites, or statistics of what kind of track they love the most. I want to keep it an honest fight, and I rather try to beat them on the best track rather than just banning it. But that's just me.
That seems very, honest. But to be honest, I don't think I have a favorite track apart from I have my favorite tracks I'm the worst at. So there's some useful tips there.
Yeah, mine used to be Inferno before the whole skip thing is.
Well, I think when I qualified, I didn't know there was a skip, so I just qualified it the long way round, the very long way, because I was very bad at it.
The Inferno skip is a 2-pronged skip.
Who found that skip then?
The first portion was found actually by Mikey Berger over a decade ago, where you climb up, where you just immediately as you start the race at the starting line, turn hard right, then tilt and climb, and with a pod like Mars, you can climb over, and then just when you're about to hit the wall, you turn over and jump that portion, and right after you finish the arches before the lava bridges, you make another turn, and then lift, and then tilt and climb a wall, another wall, and then you cross over to the finish line, and if you pull it right, you can do a time in like 2 seconds on like the third lap, where you can spin around, taking collateral damage to your pod.
I mean, that's just.
Yeah, I see someone do that in a steering wheel.
It could be the first one. Yeah, I just can't imagine how all these players find these skips and all. It must be so much grinding.
Against walls. That just tells me the community has got way too many hours in a game that takes about 5 hours to beat. If you don't know what you're doing. I've seen people beat the game who have like casually played it, beating like 3 hours. So I'm going to assume that I mean, I'm not one to talk. I've got enough hours in the game.
Anyway, we'll be seeing you again, Zelascelar, tomorrow.
That's right.
Crypto Racer. And
Wow, 2 races back to back.
Yeah, it's gonna. I need to calm down my nerves.
Yeah, you gotta, make sure you get your plenty hours of sleep in then.
Okay, definitely. Thank you for watching. Have a good rest of the day. Have a good rest of the night for you, Zelascelar, where you are at, and good luck. May the force be with you.
Yep. GG.
GG.